Lioness may be returning with its darkest season yet, because after everything Joe survived in Season 2, the next battle might not be happening on a traditional battlefield at all. It might be happening right inside her own team. The newest teaser reveals a completely different atmosphere for the show. Now, the action and the danger, they're absolutely still there, but this time the tension feels profoundly personal. We're shifting away from the front lines, making this arguably the most emotional and, honestly, the most vulnerable chapter of the series so far. Section 1. The Cost of Victory. To really understand where we're going, we have to look at the illusion left at the end of Season 2. On paper, it looked like a clinical mission success. The cartel objective was reached, the Chinese operative was captured, and a massive international threat was neutralized. But underneath that incredibly neat summary, the internal reality tells a much, much darker story. The operatives involved are returning home more fractured than ever before. Despite all the technical victories, something just feels fundamentally wrong. Nobody represented that fractured reality better than Byron. His chilling realization wasn't really about the mechanics of the Mexico operation. It was about the grinding machinery of the intelligence world itself. The names change, the targets change, but the cycle never stops. Despite all their intense sacrifices, the machine just simply keeps demanding more. Section 2. Collateral damage. Joe is returning home carrying an unprecedented amount of emotional weight. Think about it. For years, she has somehow balanced two entirely impossible worlds: her duty to her country and her duty to her family. But the relentless, punishing cycle of Season 2 has pushed this fragile, delicate balance to its absolute breaking point. Looking at her declining mental state, the teaser paints a truly harrowing picture. She's exhausted, she's deeply frustrated, she's angry. And perhaps for the very first time in her career, she is actively questioning whether the sacrifices are actually worth it. The emotional armor she has worn for so long is finally undeniably cracking. Which leads us to Neil's brutally honest admission. I'm scared for her. And that fear, it is entirely justified. Throughout the entire series, Neil has been the one stable anchor in Joe's life. When even the most stable part of your world is terrified of what you have to choose, you know the stakes have reached a critical threshold. Can she protect her country without completely destroying the people she loves? Meanwhile, Cruz and Josie are standing at their own impossible crossroads. What began strictly as a mission evolved into a real, undeniable connection. But now their whole future is in question. They're discovering that while leaving the Lioness program sounds like an easy escape, once you're part of this world, walking away is never, ever simple. But while Joe and Cruz are fighting these deeply personal battles, another storyline threatens to completely upend the series. We have always known Caitlyn as a brilliant mentor and strategist. But what if she's something else entirely? Section 3. The Mentor's Secret. This is exactly where the narrative sharply pivots into a dark, suspenseful espionage mystery. The clues point to something incredibly ominous: hidden networks, secret agendas, carefully orchestrated betrayals. What if Caitlyn's past decisions weren't solely about protecting national security? What if instead they were calculated moves to expand her own personal influence? For Joe, realizing she's been manipulated by her own mentor would be the ultimate devastating betrayal. Adding literal fuel to this volatile mix is the arrival of Grady, a highly disciplined Delta Force operator. His presence introduces an entirely different energy into the team. He brings the potential for new alliances, bitter rivalries, and extremely dangerous complications, especially when personal relationships inevitably start bleeding into those professional life-or-death decisions. Section 4. The Enemy Within. Ultimately, the overarching threat in Season 3 has fundamentally shifted. We aren't just looking at foreign adversaries anymore. The danger is closer than ever. Closer to Joe, closer to Cruz, closer to the very people they trust. The absolute highest stakes this season aren't about defeating an enemy across the globe. They are about discovering who, right within their own ranks, can actually still be trusted. Which leaves us with this final, lingering thought. Will Joe be able to save her team without completely losing herself? Or is the biggest threat of Season 3 someone already standing right inside the operation?